And we are back about that. So that was a little bit of a troubleshooting issue. Apparently our computer just shut down.
That's great. That's a great thing when you're in the middle of a stream and it just goes to blue and says, "Oops, your computer crashed." Thanks, I appreciate the help, Microsoft.
We got that sweet HD quality footage, but at what cost?
what cost?
Yeah.
So we were talking with
Troy Olson,
about the real estate market, and we were catching you guys back up. We're talking about how we read an article about how young adults, young professionals are leaving the Northeast and they're heading down to the Southwest. That would be Texas, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, and some say California, but a lot of people are leaving California because the prices are too high. And we're talking about how my wife would love to move to Newport Beach, and I think I looked online just to show her that a $1.2 million house was half the size of the house we have now. So for more space, that is not the place to go unless you're just stupid rich and can do that. But you're saying that the reason why you think a lot of people were coming from the Northeast to the Southwest was because of
employment opportunities with large corporations moving their headquarters here. I had an opportunity to be with the Dallas Chamber twice over the course of May, presenting to a relo company, and they talked about the opportunities of moving businesses here, and it was like north of 100 businesses had moved here over the last 10 years just to DFW.
That's crazy.
Surprising.
Yeah. Is that a trend you see? Like, is there like a bubble for that, or is that a thing? Because I saw when Toyota moved here, when State Farm had theirs. Because I live up in Plano at like 70 at George Bush and 121. George Bush and Preston. There you go. In that region, and when like Toyota moved in, when State Farm moved in. Other companies were talking about moving their companies in. My housing property value shot straight up.
Absolutely. It's all the vendors and service providers that work with them. If the big boys are going to move there, so are the add-ons as well to make it a lot easier for shipping and just meetings and so on. So we've seen a lot of that. Also with Chase Bank, Liberty Mutual Insurance, you mentioned State Farm. So I don't see that changing anytime soon.
But will the property value ever level out? Because that's one of the deals my wife and I were kind of debating. Like, hey, we could sell our house, but then where do you go?
Absolutely. Nobody knows where the peak is, and if you sell at the peak and you buy at the peak with a higher interest rate and higher property taxes, you're not gaining anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we're still here, we're still there. But it's like whenever you see that your house has increased so much in value, you kind of want to take advantage of that, but. Again, it's that question of like I'm not moving, to a worse area to save cash. So it's one of those challenging things. How do you coach people through that when they're looking for a place to go?
So it's always what's the next move? So when they talk about, well, I'd like to cash out, and we look at the interest rates. I refinanced my house in May of 2015 at 3.25%. If I were to go buy a house now, it's 4 3/4. It would make sense to go at a higher interest rate, higher property taxes. Just why would I move just to move? I still got to pay the buyer's agent on my property. I got to pay title policy, moving expense. It doesn't pencil out right now.
Yeah. Do you see that change? That you said you can't envision a change, but do you see like 5 years from now? Like if you're looking to move and you had that itch, is there a cap you can put on that?
I'd have to sit down literally with a calculator on the principal, the interest, the tax insurance, the HOA. Factor in commute times. Tolls. The growth is continuing to go north and northeast. Of the Metroplex.
Do you see any areas that are popping up here in DFW or just regions in the Southwest that you see as being hot commodities right now?
Yeah. So. Prosper, the 75078 zip code, has more residential building permits than any zip code in the Metroplex. I personally put over 100 families in that zip code in the last 12 months. And again, the growth is continuing to go north. Prosper, Salina, Gunner, out to Melissa, Anna. It's just continuing to grow north and northeast.
My next door neighbor across the street, they were my age, the only close to me age-wise couple we had on our block, and they had a newborn, and they wanted more space, so they sold their house, made a good little profit off of that, and then they moved up to Prosper because they were getting a home-built, custom-built home for around the same cost. So for them, it was more of a wash. But you got to live. How bad do you have to convince someone on that commute? Because to me, living in Plano, the commute from Prosper to Dallas would be tough.
If you're going to be downtown, I mean, that's a beating that I personally don't want to ever have to deal with.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate my whole career. I've never had to sit, on the tollway or, even I lived in Arizona. I've always been able to go against it.
Yeah.
So I like to, some people like to, live where they play, and some people like to live where they work. I'd rather live where I work because I have to do that 7 days a week.
Sure.
And I'll make the drive to Dallas on game nights or, a show or something like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Any other tips or tricks you want to give to people who are thinking about making that move and looking for a home?
Sure. I would just advise them to talk to their CPA, talk to their lender, really run the numbers. Don't move just to move. There has to be a why, whether it's property taxes or the house is getting old and they're putting a lot of money into it. Property taxes have gotten expensive. There's more than just one factor. I just would advise them to do their homework, run the numbers.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the cheapest thing that is in your closet and what that means what we've realized that means between the sexes. That and more coming up next on the Lunch Break Show.
Hello. Gotham Corner Store? Yes, we seem to be down to our last Diet Coke. A gentleman is on his way to pick some up. Just look for a black car. No, this black car will be rather difficult to miss. And by the way, the gentleman is usually in quite a rush.
Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke!
News alert. Someone is stealing Gotham City's power supply. Danger of citywide blackout.
When you want a Diet Coke, you want a Diet Coke. After all, there's just one. Diet Coke. Just for the taste.
What a dumb commercial that was.
I can't even start.
All right,
When you
first
want
off,
a Diet Coke, you want to know? No, duh, I want a Diet Coke.
First off, it's a brilliant commercial. There's two of them. And secondly, there's no way that's Clooney in any of the shots that don't feature his face, right?
Well, that would have been, I guess that would have been the Michael Keaton era.
Was
right?
that Keaton Batman?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Batman 1 and Batman Returns.
Batman
so.
Returns was still Keaton? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I thought that was Clooney.
And no, I don't think it was Michael Keaton at all in those.
No.
In those.
Yeah.
when it's not like,
Yeah.
and the ones that are his face are like stock footage from the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like he didn't go out to the lot and shoot anything for that. What a bummer. Diet Coke.
I love the title on the first one, Stately Wayne Manor.
Oh,
and
Stately Wayne Manor,
The biggest
yes.
problem is they've run out of Diet Coke.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Diet Coke.
The cheapest thing in your closet. So we saw this headline. We wanted to kind of go through it, and we realized how they do the equation is they go by the average purchase price over how many times you use it and what the value of that would be. So if I bought a shirt for $10, I wore it 10 times, that shirt's worth $1.
Yeah, that's
because
$1 a wear.
$1
that's
a
the
wear.
deal?
Yeah. As they were going through this, both Matt and I were very, very perplexed.
Yeah.
Because it was talking about, like, for instance, pants. and it says pants on average cost around $51. Okay, a little low, but that's fine. And then it said the average time that you wear pants is 19 times.
What?
Yeah, that is in no way accurate.
19 times out of what? A year? In a lifetime?
I guess
month?
Over the
lifetime,
lifetime of the pant.
Yeah.
Oh my
19 times over the lifetime
are
of the
these
pant?
people?
Who wrote this article?
It was done by Cosmopolitan. So you know, it's legitimate reporting.
Yeah, I have to think that they're surveying people with who go out a lot or something like that, who have a
Fashionista.
large wardrobe, maybe. When you're talking about people like me who have 7 shirts and like 3 pairs of pants that they're probably going to wear most of the time, yeah, those numbers tend to skew a little bit, I think.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because we were talking about this before the show. For guys and gals, it's going to be a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like, for guys, we will wear stuff till you can't wear it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of gals do that too, right?
Gals.
Maybe in ways we don't notice. Gal pals. Anna, what do you think?
Well, I'm not. I tend to buy everything secondhand. And so I kind of don't have like the standard, going to the mall and doing a shopping spree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember doing a lot of cleanups, and at some point I was like on my closet.
Got it.
So I would look at something and I was like, I haven't worn this in a lifetime almost. So I can get that where like something would have a very high cost, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, if you're a girl, probably you're gonna wear something less often.
I'm trying to think of the most expensive thing in my closet. What do you think the most expensive thing in your closet is?
Probably like a suit jacket, right?
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Okay.
Like, do you consider a suit like the ensemble? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
So
like
a
the
suit-
pants, the jacket,
Yeah.
Maybe a
Sure.
vest or something like that. I don't know.
So-
It has to be that. Yes, a few $100s.
Yeah, a few $100 for a suit. But now, given that suit, I only wear a suit 2 times a year, 3 times a year tops.
Sure.
So that would be a pricey item. But for jeans, I buy jeans for about $100, and I wear
spender.
those. I wear those. I mean, years. I've had a pair of jeans for
Yeah.
eight
Well,
years.
That's what they say about jeans. If you spend the money and you get a good pair, they'll last.
Yeah.
So, what? Those are cheap by default then?
I
Like,
have
how does
cheap
that
jeans
work?
that have lasted me for. I wear those things all the. I've got
No.
jeans that I've had.
Sure.
Gosh, like it had to be over a decade. Probably.
Right.
I still have some
Really?
jeans. Yeah. Yeah, totally. And
this-
I'll wear them. I mean, they're not maybe great to go out, but I'll wear them. Working around the house or something like that. Like, so they still have value to me.
Right.
Do
now-
they have holes in the back pockets? Because that's where I always got
Sure.
my holes in the cheap jeans, where the back pockets that would tear.
Well, it was like the seam, like where
Yeah.
the pocket connects to the
Yeah.
to the pants. Yeah.
This doesn't account for like things that might appreciate though, because some clothes come back around, right?
True.
Like if you wore
Sure.
a pair of bell bottoms to work on Friday, we'd all make fun of you. We'd talk about it on the lunch break. It'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
If you wore a pair of like MC Hammer parachute pants, now we have a conversation. Like that's
Are
a
those
whole
back
different
around?
game. I mean, no, but
Okay.
I would think they were cool.
Sure.
I'd applaud. It'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd pay tribute. So I don't know. What is the cheapest thing in the wardrobe?
It
I
says
guess
the
that's
cheapest
point.
thing in the wardrobe is jeans. They say jeans come out to be about 12 cents a wear. They say the average price for denim, and I don't know who's buying denim for $37 on average.
Yeah.
I don't even think.
Me.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
maybe
Really?
that's denim by the bolt.
That's Old Navy.
No, you can buy jeans
Where?
on high street shops.
Oh, high street. Like what's high
Like
street?
H&M.
Oh,
for
okay,
instance.
okay. Oh, so
Pants
like
would be cheap like
Yes, the
like that.
store.
H&M does, but does that last?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have pants that last a long time. Normally, I actually throw pants away because I got in between 2 sizes, and one is too long or too tight, and then I just get rid of. The
That's why
jeans.
I throw pants away as well, but they're not from H&M. There's nothing at H&M I can wear. H&M, yeah, it's all way too thin cut.
Well, they do have different sizes and body shapes and which is good. There's one shop and I can't remember which one it was. I could never fit anything because they only made everything to fit like one specific body type, which would be a very tall person and real skinny. And I was like, well, there's like extra pants like this.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Out of my feet.
Who
So-
hasn't walked by like a shopping store window and looked at a mannequin and thought that looks like the proportions of somebody out of a horror movie?
That's
Right.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
They
Clearly.
look like the freaking Slender Man.
Yeah.
Like nobody in the world looks like that. And if they did, I would recommend they go to a hospital immediately and have a feeding tube installed because you
go to
are
a
sick
Cinnabon.
and you need help.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say.
I appreciate
guess that was-
Andy throwing shade on me in
Yeah,
the comments.
good God, Andy. Easy.
Oh wow.
Explains why I'm so out of style.
So
Good
out of
Lord.
style. Okay, Andy. All right.
I will say, Christine made a comment that her most expensive thing is a $170 Star Wars pinup
A
dress.
Star Wars pinup dress. yeah.
Wow.
What is that?
It's a dress. See, because she's got a couple. It's either the one that looks kind of like Darth Vader, or one that kind of looks like R2D2.
So are we talking about the cut is a pinup
I bet
style?
I bet I can help you find this, Matt. If you can pull up a picture.
Okay.
If I can give him a shameless plug, it's a website called Her Universe. All right. And Matt,
.com
she
or
might link it in the comments. No, that's
.net?
just the name of the creator. And they have a couple of like Star Wars themed dresses. Yeah, check them out.
That's cool.
They're pretty slick. They're
but
kind of cool. Yeah.
For that price, how often does she get to wear that?
Oh gosh, she probably wears one of them like once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she wears them that often, but like she's got a pretty cool office. She can get away with a lot of stuff, I think.
Oh,
so
that's cool. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
I was assuming that was only for like the cons that y'all go to.
Oh, she'll wear them to those too. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. You have any luck finding one of those?
Well, I've never navigated this site before, so I'm kind of
while he-
looking
no
around.
no need to lie.
While Matt's on the spot, real talk for a second, just sidebar.
Yeah.
That thing we got tomorrow night, is that like formal wear? How formal is that?
Oh, we have an open house for. It's just what we wear every day.
Okay, so like normal wear.
Yeah, so
Alright.
we have an open house tomorrow if you happen to be by the area and you want to see what the boardroom's all about. We have a open house tomorrow from for that group from.
I'm gonna guess
6
this
to
isn't
8.
it, but that's kind of rad too.
That is not it, but yeah, it's kind of like that.
That is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's something. It's a little Star Wars-y. It's like
Yeah.
a expression of nerd culture in your wear, I guess.
Sure.
And definitely cheap too. Good lord.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And they're gonna deal through Disney now, so it's like a whole thing. Anyway, yeah. Also, she's got a Cloud City dress. Wanted me to mention that. That one's important to her.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Either way, I think we kind of got off track on this a little bit. But that was one of those weird things that we kind of realized that, for guys and girls, there's a difference. Unfortunately, I think Anna is more of the anomaly than it is the. Because I said than the rule. Because we were hoping to find a reason why. I do know that is a problem that a lot of ladies have is they buy a dress and they can only wear it a handful of times because then you have to. You're photographed in that, and it's on Facebook and it lives on Twitter and YouTube.
Sure.
And you can't.
Is that real? Is that real pressure, or is that just like? I mean,
I think it's.
I guess for guys, obviously it's different.
Yeah.
But that to me, that always seems silly. If you have a nice dress and you like it, wear it again.
I will not say my wife has done this, but I have heard of other women before who weren't my wife.
I have heard of women named exactly the same as my
who
wife.
live in my house. My wife hasn't. I've never seen her do this before, but I have seen women before go through another woman's Facebook page and go, oh my God, the same dress over and over again. Like, buy more dresses. And so like the people can be cruel in that world.
Well, that's
and
why those numbers get so skewed in that thing.
Yeah, and I've always heard that women don't dress for men; they dress for other women.
Yes.
Because I'm always like, my wife will complain about her eyebrows. I'm like, why are you worried about your eyebrows? I've never. I mean, you have them. I know you have them. But any guy who comments on your eyebrows is not playing for your team anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no need to worry about that. No straight man is going to worry about whether or not your eyebrows are on fleek or not.
Right.
And she goes, I don't do it for you. I do it for other girls.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
other
heard that
girls
before.
notice eyebrows and hair and clothes, and guys are just oblivious.
Right.
Yeah, just utterly oblivious to the whole
Yeah.
thing. You're wearing clothes, great. I don't know what I wore last Friday.
At the
So-
same time,
No
like
clue.
if you have a vast wardrobe, you want to make sure that you wear your items, kind of like, oh, I have this dress, I haven't worn it. It's just to have so many things that you could go 365 days without going through the same outfit, maybe.
Sure. We're going to take a quick break. To wrap up the show, we have a great photo clip that we're going to play when we come back. and it is the worst attempt we've ever seen to clean up a mess here in the building. That and more when we come back next on the Lunch Break Show. And we are back on the Lunch Break Show. Again, I am Josh with Zach, Anna, and Matt. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's always a different technical error we have to fight through, but we fight through it for you guys. You are the real heroes here. You can follow us, like us, and share us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we're also found after every episode on iHeartRadio or wherever podcasts are being found. iTunes.
We do it all for you.
We do it for you.
We do it for the fans.
So you've already heard about the RIP to the candy bowl jar. If you haven't, you can go back to another episode. We had to take a slight break in between the two episodes. So it's part 1 and part 2 of this series.
We may think about re-uploading this thing as
in some fashion.
Yeah. And then we also have, this is the one of the things that happened. We left the studio on Monday and we were walking out for lunch and we saw this take place in our courtyard area. So this is none of our employees.
No, this is a Matt observation. He caught this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is by far the worst attempt I've ever seen. Matt is correct. At cleaning something up.
Yeah, so we have a little dining area, I guess you would say, out in front of our front door here, where they have I don't know, half a dozen tables out there for people to sit down and eat their food and a few chairs. And so we walk out on Monday and I look over and I see what appears to be someone who has spilled their drink, and this was their effort at cleaning it up, which, as you can see, is wildly insufficient in that they've simply thrown a handful of napkins on the ground and it didn't bother to pick those up at all. They just sort of threw them on top of it as if you were throwing a coat over a puddle for a woman and then left them there.
I've seen before you make a mess on a table, you throw a whole bunch of napkins down, you walk away. It's bad etiquette. I've seen it. This isn't even enough napkins to actually clean it.
Right, and it's not even a table. It's under the stairs, behind a table. Somebody has to specifically go out of the way and spot that. Unless, of course, they're coming out of our place of business.
Right.
Which is the first thing they see. So thank you, concerned citizen.
I just feel like you've not helped in any way. You just made more of a mess.
No.
You might as well have just not thrown the napkins down. What is that doing?
That's my point. You legitimately made it worse. You did not make it better in any way. No part of that is drier for it. No part of it is easier to walk on. It's worse. Every part of it is worse.
I have something to say.
Please.
You did see it. Only because of the napkins.
No, I saw it because Matt pointed it out to me.
Matt, why did you see it? Because of, I'm guessing, the contrast of the dark napkins.
Sure, I saw the napkins and then I saw, the spill.
That is so unfair. That's traffic cones are orange so you can see them. That doesn't make them necessary.
Are you
that
saying
doesn't mean
this
we
served
need them.
the purpose of one of those wet floor signs?
I'm not saying it, but I'm saying, if anything, at least it kind of avoided someone slipping on that.
I would follow that with a counterpoint. The sun coming through the windows there, bouncing off the floor. You can clearly see how much the gleam is coming off of that, and it's a brown liquid. That wasn't water. You could see that on white tile.
Hold on, Josh. I heard you agree with this. You agree with this statement?
I agree with Anna's logic. I was about to make the same point. If anything, it is, I don't have time to fix this, but I would hate for someone to come walking through, not paying attention, lollygagging around in their mind, slip and fall.
I feel 100% confident in saying that is not the thought process that person put into that.
You're an adult. You made a mess. You clean it up. If you didn't have the time to clean up the mess, you shouldn't have gotten the drink. Don't do the time if you can't do the crime or whatever. God.
You're so mad you came in focus.
I'm so upset about this.
I love it. So there we go. That is the lunch break show for
Hold
today.
on. Can I give a footnote here?
Please.
By the time we left, so that was 1:30 on a Monday. By the time we left at 5, the liquid had, I guess, evaporated. The napkins were still there. There were just wet napkins plastered to the floor,
Right.
and no liquid. So I don't know if they couldn't have absorbed it all. So
No.
they just the liquid disappeared, but the mess was still there.
To those of you claiming that it was easier to see, clearly the janitor didn't feel that way because he missed it. So
there you go. On that little punch, we're gonna leave you on the Lunch Break Show. Back on Friday. Thank you for sticking with us through all the technical problems. We appreciate you guys. You can like us, follow, share, all that on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook. See you on Friday for another raging episode of the Lunch Break Show from 12 to 1.